It may be the cost analysis for them to host your videos versus the 4,000-hour guy isn't there. They just don't have the hard. I'm a computer scientist. I mean, I've worked as a system administrator. I've put systems in disk space, and all this stuff costs money. So maybe they're looking at it from a cost-benefit analysis. Like
I'm not worried about YouTube's. They're making enough money as it is.
Well, how do you know? See, that's just it. They've got to host these machines. They've got to build the building. They've got to pay the people. If it's like somebody up there is looking at the bottom line. You see what I'm saying? And
yeah,
maybe
but some CEOs getting paid $19 million this year and some tremendous bonus.
Yeah,
while these
and
other
that's
people
not
are
even
getting
including his bonus.
Well,
right?
see, you can't begrudge somebody for where they're at with this. You know what I'm saying? I don't begrudge them for making a lot of money. All I'm saying is, like, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here and looking at it from a computer scientist person, background. I have a master's in computer systems management, and that includes understanding the financial end, not as well as the technical end of computing. And if I'm looking at this and I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's like they're not distinguishing them. You're a small content creator. Your content may be good, and there's guys, hundreds, millions of guys that are making small content, and it's entertaining. But they're saying, hey guys, there's not enough room on our servers for you and these other people that are making us more money. Somebody's got to go, and it's nothing personal. It's your content is not as good as this guy's. It's just a numbers game. Just somebody, an accountant sitting up there in the offices of Google going, you know what, this isn't working out for us personally. And I think that's a big part of it. I don't think it's so much of a mean-spirited, we hate the little guy thing. I think it's more of we're looking at, what is costing us to host you versus what you're bringing into the table.
I've been at this 3.5 years, okay, and I have literally seen a lot. I have seen how YouTube has changed the algorithm so many times, and I've had my highs and I've had my lows, and there are tools out there that do help cut the workload down. Okay, when I literally say that I log 80 hours a week, I do 40 hours at my regular full-time job. I come home and do another 40 hours, and we're talking SEO work only, on the computer, working over almost 700 videos, tweaking, fine-tuning the SEO just to drive my numbers up. Give you an idea.
A lot of hard work, isn't it?
Last year alone, I did over 4,100 hours that I saved myself. Over 4,100 hours.
Everybody gets
it's
somehow,
all
right?
about the numbers game. If you don't have the right numbers in the algorithm, you're not going to get nowhere.
I've been making ASMR videos lately, and they've been getting a lot of attention, especially from the older male group.
Listen, here's the thing: is that I don't think anyone's taking this personally. We don't think the companies are coming after us at all. I believe that YouTube is doing what's best for it. That's about it. And so for that computer, I don't know your name for the computer scientist guy, but our situation is they're looking out for their best interest. We need to look out for our best interest.
That's it.
How can we make YouTube? Who built YouTube? Right. Number one, the people built YouTube, and they need to remember that. That's all.
Absolutely.
Why don't you shut up?
Let me tell you something. What YouTube literally did to me. I had the world's most vast collection of music videos, and I was making money hand over fist because people before YouTube, people had to buy it from us, and me and my partner we lived like kings here in Florida. I mean, literally king of the world. And then technology came, and now I go on YouTube and I look at a music video and go, gosh, I remember when we were the only people in the world that had access to that Led Zeppelin Denmark 1969 video, and it wasn't in half as good a quality. And now you can get it for free. And people used to send me $20-25 a shot for that video on VHS cassette
that's
in the
true.
90s.
That is true.
And it burned me. It put me completely out of business. Completely out of business. You know, everybody else tried to put me out of business. The lawyers from the Napster, after the Napster really tried to put me out of business. The government tried to put me out of business. Nobody could put me out of business until YouTube came around, right? YouTube, because we transferred, once technology went to like the home DVD and the burning DVD, we went to that. And we were making money hand over fist. But once YouTube provided those same videos for free on that website in better quality than what I could ever get myself, guess what? We went out. Me and my partner had to quit, say goodbye, we shook hands, and we haven't spoken like, I think, 15 years.
Well, YouTube and Netflix together are why Blockbuster went belly up. You know, the video rental business nationwide, Hastings and Blockbuster are gone because of YouTube and Netflix. I mean, Amazon also has their own videos going too. And, of course, there's something called Hulu. So, yeah, we are in a paradigm shift. We're in a transition period. Everything's going towards streaming. I mean, the age of the DVD and the Blu-ray is limited, maybe 5 more years. The red boxes are all over the place right now, but I don't know how long Redbox can hold out. Yeah, there is definitely a shift going on. There's a shift going on.
A platform that we can get on, but it's still limited to the big boys. They're holding out to see how it's going to play out, just like Facebook Watch. They're testing the waters to see how it's going to work. If it works good, YouTube's in trouble. Because now you got 2 more of the corporate giants.
I don't think YouTube's going anywhere, man. YouTube's not going anywhere.
They're the most powerful.
No, it's not. No, whoever thinks it's going to go anywhere is crazy. It's not going anywhere. It's just getting stronger.
No.
Streaming. I get it on the stick in large high definition now. And, you know, forget that. It's
they have their own YouTube specials, I think.
Oh, absolutely. They've got their exclusive.
Right.
They've got exclusive series now on YouTube. And it's just going to get bigger and bolder.
Well, and you know, YouTube
so where do you see
around
this going?
for a while.
The computer scientist. I don't know your name. Where do you see this going?
Dan Patrick. That's Dan Patrick over in Tampa, Florida. Dan, he's asking about you.
Yeah, I'm a professor.
Oh, Dan Patrick.
Yeah, I'm a professor, and I'm a computer scientist. I've worked for the federal government before you guys even knew there was an internet. I was working on the internet in 1992. John Hopkins Applied Physics Lab. And in the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, we were working with Berners-Lee directly to learn HTML. And I knew that this was going to light the world on fire, but I also knew that eventually big money would take it away. I thought it would be, actually, the run has been a lot longer than I thought it would be in the early part of the century, like maybe 2005, 2006. You guys, I think you got 12 more years than you out of this than I predicted. I thought maybe like from 95 to 2005.
At what point did you start realizing when Al Gore passed? Didn't Al Gore kind of come up with the whole internet thing?
Well,
how long did it take for you to realize that big companies gonna drown this one?
Immediately, and I won't tell you, I put the Al Gore Technology Center together at the Nuclear Regulatory. I am the person, the architect, the brains behind it, and he isn't as significant as he would like to portray himself. But you know when I knew it? Immediately. I said, wow, this is great. But eventually, and then I'm talking 1995, 96, just as it was going to become available to everybody else, I said, this is going to work for a while for the grassroots home person at home, but eventually big money will sweep us all away. And I knew it immediately. I mean, it didn't take me a year. It didn't take me 2 years. It didn't take a lot of thought. I knew it immediately. The first day I pulled out my credit card and started buying stuff in my office at Lockheed Martin in 96, and I spent a ton of money. I said, wow, this is powerful. You can spend a lot of money really fast if you're not quick. You're not being careful with this thing. One link leads to another.
Are you literally claiming to be the owner of internet? Are you saying that you built it? You were the person who built internet?
It was part
organized
of it. There's a big part of it, but as a part of it, there's a lot more other people.
So if you,
millions.
So if you were, people were doing.
I just was in D.C. at the right time in the right place. You understand? I was born there.
So how many people?
Then I went to college there.
How many people were organizing it?
It's impossible to say because every federal agency. Here's the way it worked. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a short answer. In 1992, the only people that were allowed on the internet were .edu and .gov. So what is that? Universities and government. And John Hopkins left both. Okay.
Yeah, it came out of ARPANET, as I recall. Go ahead.
So we have all these people, all these universities. Berkeley, over in Berkeley, a lot of people developing the internet over there, right? In D.C., a lot of people. The brains were basically between the Silicon Valley, Berkeley, and Washington, D.C., with all the government money being poured into it, and then all the intelligence being poured into it from universities like Stanford and MIT and Carnegie Mellon, et cetera, et cetera. EDUs, .edu. Remember, I told you, there's only two people on the internet in 92. .edu, .gov, right? Not you, but EDUs, colleges, right? And .gov, GOVs, the White House. That includes the White House, includes every federal agency and commission, and major lab like the Applied Physics Lab, the Los Alamos, et cetera, et cetera. All these people are online, right? But not you and I. Right? These people were developing the internet, right, as you know it now. We were developing it as you know it now, okay? And then Berners-Lee came up with HTML, and then the kid at the Illinois Supercomputer Center in Illinois came up with Netscape. And bada bing, guess what? Everybody now can see, because in the beginning only like somebody when trained like in Unix could navigate the web. But once the kid invented that browser, the Netscape browser, that Mosaic browser that turned into Netscape, anybody could do it. Your grandmother could do it. You could do it. He could do it. She could do it. You know, you go on the bus and point to everybody on the bus. They could do it. Because Steve Jobs took over with the phones and all that. Now everybody and his brother, from like a 3-year-old to an 83-year-old grandmother, can do it, right? But at the beginning, only trained computer scientists could do it. Okay. So, and that's who developed it, okay? All these people working at government labs, university labs, all these people built it to where you know it. And then the National Science Foundation in Northern Virginia, and I've been by there, I teach a class for Microsoft, and I went right. I never knew where it was until I got off the plane at Reagan Airport and drove by it. The NSF said in 1995, we're going to open this up to everybody. And if you can catch on to HTML, you can build your own website and make a fortune. And a bunch of the first people, and I hate to tell you this, but the first people to really push it were the pornographers. They're the ones they're instrumental, very instrumental in pushing this technology where it is today. And and that's just a fact of life. And they put a lot of money into it, and they built the streaming capabilities and all this other. They helped build all this stuff to where it's at now. And then because they're money.
Curiosity, Peter.
I'm going to have to be perfectly honest. They've made it so confusing in the papers and in the news. I don't understand it completely. I have to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I'm a professor of computer science.
But it can evolutionize into basically Googling something or whatever, looking up something, and we're not able to find it like we can now.
See, that bothers me. So now you have censorship monetized.
Well, exactly. That's George Orwell's 1984. See, once they control the information and people no longer have books and access to libraries, you can put anything on there and you can rewrite history. And the danger does exist, that level of power, if information gets controlled on a mass scale and we get denied.
Who knows what can happen,
like in
right?
China. In China right now, they censor Google. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. It's scary. It's scary to think that. I don't like the net neutrality thing. I think there's enough people against it and enough lawsuits against it, it's going to get repealed. So I'm not worried about it. But I think it's a bad thing. Any change, to me right now at this point in the game, any change to the web as it was just a couple of years ago is a bad change. Anything that says you can't do this, you can do this, and it becomes more like the three networks that we were used to growing up, ABC, NBC, and CBS, right? Once it gets to that point, my friends, then it's all over with for all of us. Then we're just going to be viewers, okay? We're not going to be participants then. And that's where you're at right now with this.
So I have a question, Peter. So what I'm hearing, what I read in an article, is that basically the government is going to consist of tech companies, Google, Yahoo, whoever else the tech companies are out there in Silicon Valley, and the agencies, really, the federal agency, the Central Intelligence Agency, all the agencies, and that's really what government is going to consist of. Meaning that's what's going to. Is that? Do you agree with that? I mean, a lot of people. So Trump ran as though, for all intents and purposes, Trump ran for white, white Americans were going to take America back. That was my interpretation of Trump running. And it's not really that is what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that it's really going to be tech companies that are going to be running the world, because that's what we all rely on. Let's face it. And do you agree with that, or?
Let's just start. I'll propose what you just said. All right, great thought. Eating Thanksgiving dinner a few years ago, me and a friend of mine were talking about, well, what if the grid went down in America, like tomorrow? And all right, let's take away this. We meant the whole grid, like all of electricity, which would be a total. We would be defeated so badly. The cities would burn.
Right.
They would be looting, fighting, killing. Well, just to say tomorrow they pulled a cord on the internet now, right? Just think what would happen if you can imagine that. It would be lights out again. It would cause a major economic disaster. The stock market would crash.
That'd be worse than a bombing.
It would, and Dan, that's one of the dangers that guy in North Korea, the Kim Jong-un, presents. He's threatened an EMP.
Right.
A guy like that over in North Korea could very literally go after our grid and try to take it down. It's a real serious threat. Ted Koppel of Nightline, you remember Ted Koppel, even wrote a book about it called Lights Out. It is a very serious issue that people should be concerned about.
And I think that should answer your question about tech companies running the world. Think about a world now without a World Wide Web. It runs your television now. We're streaming. We're just talking about the advent of streaming. You get your TV now. You get everything. You get your news. You get your communication. You get video, graphics, audio. When I was in college, I was one of these guys working on ISP.
Proves the point that when they tried to put this technologies on guns, I think what happened is one guy winded up bringing those guns into his his office or his sword, and everyone flipped out on the guy, and he was like ostracized. Because they don't want technology on guns, and that's what's happening in our houses. When they put technology, if we can change the thermostat or open our doors, that's all open.
My heart goes out to you, Rich, because I know you went to the eBay thing, and then now you went to the YouTube thing, and I think you have an uphill battle, and I think it's horrible. But I don't want to see the guitar lessons disappear from the little guys that definitely don't have 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers. But it is what it is. You have to live with it. You have to you have to adjust. Just like when we go over and we blow the heck out of some country, and then I read in the paper, well, they've adjusted over there, and in Afghanistan or Syria or Libya, wherever we bomb the hell out of them, and now they're back. Life is back to normal, and they're putting together their armies again. Well, that's life. That's what we got to do. We're just going to have to adjust, boots on the ground, and go forward with the next best thing. Once the government takes it, what the government gives, the government gave you the internet, my friend, and they can take it away just as quickly. And and big money is the same thing. What they give, they can take away. They can change the rules in the middle of the game. That's what you're seeing. Yeah.
Dan, in the closing minutes of the show, and we've got about 5 minutes left, I want to turn to North Georgia first, and North Georgia, I'd like for you to weigh in on some of what we've been discussing.
Well, I ain't got too much to say on the last few minutes. But back to your comment that you told me I should do a video.
Absolutely.
On that, I actually did that video, and I launched it at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock Central Time. And I actually put it on the page, the community page.
Good.
That video is already out there.
Well, fantastic. I will definitely add it to a playlist. I'll definitely promote it around. And Northwest Ohio, we haven't heard from you. I'd like to hear something from you before the show closes out.
Actually, I thought that was a good idea, people getting together.
Absolutely.
And, right, because I was thinking that, but I couldn't figure out how I would, present it. But I thought that was one of the better ideas I heard.
Absolutely.
Peter, I just want to thank you guys, and thank you for having this group. I need to get going. But, Peter, you shed some insight for me. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, and have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yep, you too.